Sisterhood, a title that doesn't get the recognition it needs. Sisterhood, a powerful bond that plays a vital role in every woman's life. Sisterhood, a hood that a lot of women have seen or heard but have yet to experience. Hi, my name is Keita, and today we kick off the very first episode of the POPPIN Brown Girl Podcast, a series of mirror table talks with women who look just like you, been where you've been, and can relate to the struggle. We dive into sisterhood, self care, motherhood, health and wellness, financial stability, community help, all things needed for us to thrive. No matter what you're going through, the power to overcome is in you. And a woman brave enough to share her story is a woman who cares and wants to make a difference. Today's topic is sisterhood underestimated, the power that we don't talk enough about. And the reason for this is simple. When I started the nonprofit Pop and Chick movement, it began as a space for me and my close sister friends to unite and give back to the community. I saw so much power, potential, and purpose within each of them, and it inspired me to create something that would help them spread their wings and tap into their gifts. There's something truly electrifying about women coming together. And when we do it for a greater cause, the impact is nothing short than amazing. That's why today, my very first guests are sisters, sisters that have played a major role in my life. These girls never cease to amaze me, and the way they exude sisterhood is top tier. So, without further ado, I want to welcome Shawn and Shannon, the Hazelton Twins. Welcome, Shawn and Shannon. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want to first thank you for taking the time out to join me on my very first episode of the Poppin' Brown Girl. And I want to literally and figuratively give you your flowers because you ladies have played a major role in my life. We met in high school. I think 96 is when I met you ladies, but we got close in college, Eastern Shore. And from there, we just always been sisters ever since. I feel like we did have like a hiccup or two along the way, but we were young. And so now that we're here, I can really honestly say that you are my sisters, not just friends. And so I have a lot of questions for you today. And even though we've been friends for what, almost 30 years?
Almost 30.
There are some things, surprisingly, that I don't know about you. And I assumed that you were identical twins, but you are, right? And then,
Yes.
Shawn, you're the oldest.
Yes.
Okay, so we good on that. So what about born and raised? You from DC, Maryland? I assume DC.
Yes. We were
Okay,
born and raised in
okay,
DC.
okay. Did you go to DC schools your whole life, or did you go to Maryland schools at one point? Like, how was your childhood? Was you always connected, always close? You know how like some siblings, they're just siblings, but they might not be as close. But you ladies are twins. For me, I feel like with twins, there's always a connection, right? But I have met twins that aren't connected, that don't hang with each other or whatnot. So could I say that you guys have been like this from the womb?
Yes, we have. We've always been close. We were brought up with my mom always saying, you always stick together. You don't have anyone else as far as friends. You have each other. And so we've always been close, like extra close if you ask me. We did go to DC public schools for our whole life. So
Okay.
we never went to Maryland schools. We DC girls.
Okay. So I wanted to do a trivia before we got really down into the serious questions. So my first trivia question is, who apologizes first during a disagreement?
I think it depends on um, who may have been at fault,
Okay.
but at some point or another, of course, within any siblings, one may say one thing and another may rebuttal.
Okay.
So at that point, then we know we both owe each other an apology.
Oh,
So
that's so
no matter
sweet.
who started it, 2 seconds later we're on the phone. Well, I'm sorry, or,
Right.
saying
That's
something
awesome.
to acknowledge that we do apologize and we didn't mean it, because it's just always been like that. And I think that's one of the things that keep us the closeness with us. When we know we're at fault, or we hold each other accountable for things we say to each other, because at the end of the day, we're all we
Why
have.
don't we all think like
I
that?
don't know, but it's just like, because I know me, even if it's not even my fault, I don't never want to see her feelings hurt, and I know that's vice versa for me too, or whatever. So it's just like, okay, we had an argument. Okay, look, I apologize, or whatever we want to say to each other to make each other feel comfortable, or just to lighten the mood up. But
Right.
it flows right along. We don't
So
stay mad at it.
pride has never been
No,
in the way. I'm gonna be honest, because I know you guys for a while. Shawn is the feisty one, and Shan is the chill, laid back. So I be thinking like, when y'all get into something, Shan is probably the one that's always like, you know what, you got it. I ain't about to go back and forth.
And that's not the case, though. Oh no.
That's see,
not the case.
I learn more about you guys, no matter how long I've known
So
you.
it's just, I'm just more of an assertive person. She is laid back and chill, but when it comes to
direct,
I'm more direct. But when it comes to, I think, the respect level, she feels like she deserves it, regardless of whether she's chill or not. She's gonna be like, no.
Yeah. So you could be feisty at times,
Yes, I
Shannon.
can be.
Okay.
I can be.
Okay, so I got a question for Shannon. And I want to know how well you know each other. Right. So Shannon, what's Shawn's favorite comfort food?
Ice cream?
Or food in general, like her favorite dish.
I would say seafood is her favorite.
Okay, like what? Crabs, shrimp?
Crabs. Okay. Yeah, crabs. Any type of seafood. Well, not any, but crabs, shrimp. Because we do a lot of dates and stuff like that with each other. So I will say crabs or something like that.
Oh, just like sisters, just y'all two, just hanging out, go out to eat and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Without the kids and the men. Okay.
And the men.
And so I think I'm glad you shared that, because I wouldn't have. I mean, I know, because I feel like you guys are together all the time. So when you think about it, what you guys going out to dinner or things like that, I'm not saying it's not needed, but I wouldn't think it, because you're together all the time. So when y'all do stuff, it's with other people. So that's good to know. And I think that that's important, to get out and get to know each other better. We're growing. And so we change up, we have different thoughts, we have our feelings change, and so many other things. So I think that that's very important. I think that's important for all of the sisters out here, because it's like I said earlier, it's similar to dating a man. We could take the time out and date a man. Why can't we date our sisters, right? They're just as important.
They are.
And majority of the times, they last longer than the men.
They do.
Anyway,
They absolutely do.
That's
why. And that's one thing we strive to do. Like, even with our mates, they know that the closeness of, like, they can't come in between what we have going on. Although they wouldn't want to, they know that we're just absolutely close, and it's just like, you know what? Let me just go with the flow. But we have boundaries, in certain areas. But they know that we are extremely close.
Yeah, they know not to play those games. I love it. Set them boundaries. Okay, so Shawn, I got a question for you. What's something that Shannon is really good at that not many people know?
I think she's just really good around about it in everything that she does. She may be the quiet one, but Shannon is the more I wouldn't say successful one out of between the two of us, but she strives to always make sure that her job is done and done correctly. She go by the books in everything that she does. And I think that's what sometimes people differ. They don't consider her friendship and being a boss, because she is one.
Yes.
They don't know how to distinguish between the two. So I think even all around a friendship, being a boss, I think she just go over and beyond, and even when she's trying to be a boss, she still is compassionate. she's taking consideration different scenarios within her employees, and they don't realize that. But she's always been a sweet person. But sometimes when you're working, you do got to take the friendships out of it.
You definitely do.
And so I just think she's all around a great person. So I can't just pinpoint one thing. She's just a great person, and that's just coming from me.
Right. And let me tell you this: one time she had came over to pick up an outfit, and she was on the phone with work. It was the weekend, and I was just lost. I'm like, "Aren't you off?" And and then whomever she was on the phone with, there was not. It was, I wouldn't say a conflict, but she was trying to get them to understand something that was taking place, whether they wanted leave, I don't remember, but the patience that she had, because not that I was eavesdropping, but I'm in my head like, didn't she tell you in the beginning?
That's how I'm always
but you didn't like get high pitched or anything. It was just like you still had the same tone, and you kept doing what you was doing. But that's the reason you are where you are, with the patients, So I think that that's wonderful, and congratulations. So you are, did you say superintendent of Metro?
Of a bus division.
Yeah. Of a bus division. Yeah. That is major. I'm so proud of you. When I heard you say that, I said, huh? Superintendent. Like, girl, you're doing big things. That is awesome. And well deserved. So my next question, I be feeling like I already know the answer, but who takes longer to get ready when y'all about to go out?
Go ahead and say Shannon is the slowest of all the I'll be so upset with her. I'll be like, girl, like we have all day to figure it out or however, and she's still. I'm like, you ready yet? No, She just moved like a snail. Seriously.
I got one more trivia question for y'all. Who was the first to sneak out first? I know y'all snuck out during y'all younger days.
That's me.
Oh yeah. See, I be knowing. When it comes to men, I know we talked about this before, but I know coming up, I've had sister friends or girlfriends or what have you, and then you have the guys, and then there'll be a guy that like me, and then next thing you know, my girlfriend's like, oh, he tried to talk to me too. So y'all are twins, and y'all are identical. Has it ever been like a situation where a dude tried to holler at Shawn and then see Shannon and try to holler at her too, or y'all like the same guy or anything like that?
That is never absolutely.
For real?
No, I don't know what it was, but that never.
Hold on, so y'all never like the same guy? Because even with me, like I've had girlfriends that might be like, oh, I gave so-and-so my number, and in my head I'm thinking, oh, I thought he was cute too. I liked him.
I mean, those conversations you have, but it's not where it's an attraction of both of us, like, oh, I like him too.
No, yeah, it's just like, oh, okay.
It just be like
but no, I'm saying like, not that you could say, oh, I thought he was cute or I was eyeing him. Not saying it like, oh, once you know that Shan is interested, it's kind of like
anybody that she's ever talked to is not my type, and probably like
and vice versa.
Yes. So we kind of sort of like know each other's type.
Okay.
So if she was interested in somebody, I'm like, yes, let's go. Yeah, go after them. But yeah.
So y'all do have y'all differences then, because that right there.
Different in that area.
Okay. But y'all got like the same like style and stuff like that.
And I think for the most part, the guys that we both kind of sort of like, they have like the same style, but it's a difference. Yeah, they like, we go off each other. Like her type now that she has is completely her, and mine all the way.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all are a package deal.
Right.
So has there ever been, we've been talking about men, but what about girlfriends? Has there ever been a situation where Shawn might be cool with a female, but for whatever reason, you may not take to her or like her, or vice versa? And if so, how do you handle that? Because in my eyes, I don't think that it's cool to dislike somebody just because the next person likes them. But y'all are twins. I don't know. It's like a difference. That's a tough one.
But that has happened before. where Shawn has been friends with people that I necessarily don't care for. And that's her friendship, but it would never come in between what we have.
Right.
Conversations in regard to those I don't want to hear about because I really don't care.
Right.
You know, not unless it's something where they're, you know, doing something or saying something in regard to her in a negative way. But other than that, yeah, we have had those situations, but we would never let it interfere. And of course, you know, her personality would never allow it to interfere with anything that we have. And the sad part about it is they have no knowledge that she doesn't even care for them. So it's not sad, but that's a good thing because that means it's never a conversation where I'm talking with them saying, oh, well, my sister, you know, because I ain't gonna never put my sister in a situation where they can say this, that, and the third. I'm their friend. She don't have to be their friend.
Right.
You understand? And so she can have a friend that I'm not entirely okay with, but that's her relationship. Until they do something to her, it really
stay out of it.
I stay out of it. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So y'all haven't really had any conflicts. Y'all ain't never jumped nobody on nothing like that, have y'all? Wow. So overcoming obstacles, we all have dealt with them throughout life. And if you could just share with me one situation that had took place, you know, in your past in life that was challenging, but you overcame it. And I think that sharing that part of you will inspire a lot of women because DMV knows the twins. When you hear the twins, it's like automatically Shawn and Shannon, Shawn and Shannon. And my sister always asks me, how do the twins know everybody? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they just popular. I don't know. Everybody loves them. You know, I don't know. So people on the outside looking in, when they see us women, especially with social media nowadays, we don't post everything. We don't share everything. And so we might post us looking cute, but that day could have been a rough day. You just never know. So can you share with me like an obstacle that you overcame and how you overcame it?
I don't really have an obstacle, but I think as a woman, we all go through our different scenarios or different phases of life. And I can say, you know, the one time when I lost my job, I thought it was the end of the world because I always speak on Shannon and how professional she is and how she's so much of a boss. In this term, I thought I was one too, but I was contracting and the contract had ended. And it just was like my whole world had shattered. So I felt like at that time, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And so I was out of work for a long time, but the social media never knew. I still managed to do everything that I wanted to do by the grace of God. But deep down inside, I was like, Lord, please help me provide a way because I have a son. I have a whole household to take care of. And so I think that was one of the most challenging times for me because I just had to just keep the faith. Like something is going to come through. So I had been applying to finally, you know, I really landed something that suited me.
That was better than the last one.
That was better than the last one, paying more than that. And so I was just like, and it took a couple of months.
It took some time.
Social media would never know that. And I don't think that I'm supposed to go on social media and say that because you would never know. I'm always posting quotes about God and Him blessing me and Him doing these things. And the whole time I'm promoting it or just saying it for someone else, but the whole time it's for myself as well. And so I think that was just one of the most challenging times for me, and I just overcame it. And I mean, it just was a challenge. Like, and I ain't saying that we don't supposed to have these challenges, but for me, I just was like, no, not me. No, I can't be without a job. But I mean, somebody else could not be without one too. But just for me, I just think that was one of the most
worst times
that I.
Because you just didn't know what could have happened.
Yeah, I didn't know what I could have done. I mean, or what was going to occur, how long I was going to be out with the job or whatever. But God provided, and so
Amen.
I was okay with that.
Wonderful. So Shannon, when I think for the both of y'all, when I think about y'all two, when one falls short, the other one picks up.
And that's the truth. She's always there for me. Like this is verse advice, and so she was really she was helpful in that area when I was struggling with it. She, I would have my days. I'd be up. Sometimes I'd be low, and then she always be like, "It's gonna work out. It's gonna do this, that, and the third." But one thing sis gonna do is have
She
my
gonna
back.
right.
I mean, anything, finance. I mean, encouragement. She just always gonna have my back.
Pray together, all that.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and so she gonna make you feel on top of the world, even when you don't feel like you're on top of the world. So she was one.
That's a blessing. Wow, awesome. What about you, Shannon? You have any?
I will say the most trying thing with me would have been a relationship. Sometimes you can get in certain relationships and guys will make you feel at your lowest. They will say things to you to make you, to belittle you. They will say things,
especially when they don't get their way.
Yeah, and especially when in nowadays women are more. Women have more. They have more to offer than a lot of guys.
So we not settling.
Yeah, we have good jobs, good homes, good. We're just bosses, and rightfully so now, right? So when you're dealing with someone isn't up to par,
Intimidated.
Yeah, definitely. That's the word, intimidated. They will make you feel.
Yes.
They would bring you down.
Yeah.
Take you to your lowest. So for me, that would be my most when I had to deal with that.
Yes.
But I overcame it. Yeah. Of course, I think that was my lowest point in my life that I've ever had.
Because when you love someone, it's you just unconditionally, and it's like you try, and you might even stoop to their level sometimes, but eventually, you snap out of it.
It's like you can pray and ask God, please, if you just remove them from me, because that hurt. It's just that hurt that you just you can't get away from, but you're asking. For me, I was constantly asking God, if you just remove him from me, if you just remove him from my life. When he did, it was just like a light bulb went off in my head. Like, I thank you for removing them, because although he took me through stages, through phases to get to that point, but once I got through that point,
he was gone. No turning back.
No turning
back.
So I think that was one of the lowest points that, guys will make you.
Yes. And that's why sisterhood is so important, though, because like I said, we be in and out of them relationships with them men, but the sisters have been there from day one, you know what I'm saying? So we stick beside each other. So that's amazing. I'm sure y'all never done this, but have y'all ever swapped places? Like, girl, I don't want to go. You go. Like, you know how they be in the movies when you see twins, they swap places and stuff like that. I wonder if that happens in real life.
It probably No, not with us.
Okay, so in the beginning, I touched on us meeting at Eastern Shore, and I remember my memory is so shut down. Like, I don't know if it's menopause or what, but I vaguely remember, like, some things come back to me every so often. So I remember Eastern, I knew who y'all were. Then Eastern Shore, we got close, like to the point to where y'all lived in my room and I was bunned up. So, so I was just never in my room. So y'all stayed in the room. And I remember one time I came to the cab, I had on my sweatshirt. So I'm like, we sisters now. But those were those 4 years were some of the best years of my life. And I met some wonderful women, because when I came in, I went to Ballou, then I went to Eastern. So when I went to Eastern Shore, it was like a culture shock for me. If I saw a dude in a pink shirt, oh, he gay. If anything, it's like to the point to where y'all will always go to the parties. Remember, I didn't really go because I was quiet, and then also the Baltimore music, like I said, if it wasn't go-go,
you didn't want
I wasn't doing it. But y'all did all the parties and stuff like that. And y'all come back.
You were the one who introduced us to the go-go's. We was
for real?
Yeah, sneaking, going to the go-go's. W Street.
Oh my gosh, they don't need to know that side of me. But yeah, so it was like y'all do the parties, then y'all used to come back. Oh, this dude was looking for you. They be like, y'all got this one friend that don't be coming nowhere. We be seeing.
But also, Keita, you was the braider of all braiders. Like,
yes.
People don't know that about you. You braided all of our
I was a hustle man from the get. Like, I didn't have it. So it was like, I ain't had no choice but to make it do what it do. Yeah. And I had my little Civic. We was in Julio. We named the Civic Julio. Yeah. We used to be bunched up in that Civic like Julio's, actually. Like, be like 10 of us in the Civic. But those were some amazing days. But I do want to touch on, and this is real raw, uncut. There was a period where we kind of drifted and shifted and wasn't as close as we were. And because I was young, it's, when I feel like Eastern Shore was the place where we all, like, I really felt real sisterhood. I had friends in high school and stuff like that, but I really, when I would get calls from people, I would like meet a girl and I'm just thinking nothing of it. I'll meet her that morning, or we took a class together, and then she's calling my room. And it's like, I don't know her. Why she called? Like, I was just one of them people that I just had to really get to know. I wasn't friendly. But after a while, I kind of took to it and accepted it because I love the whole concept of, having a few friends. Not too many, but a few. So we were, very close back then, as we are now, but there was a time where we had kind of shifted. And I wanted to touch on that because I really don't remember if we ever talked about it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was like a situation that could
it wasn't really
nothing.
It wasn't really nothing, but it was something. I mean on my behalf. Oh. Because it was like one night there was some party, again, I didn't go. And, I wake up the next morning to all of this chaos and drama, right? Mm-hmm. I talked to y'all first, and one of y'all, I think it was probably Shannon, where she was like, you didn't hear? They didn't tell you? And I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on, right? Now, whatever the conflict was, it was with someone that I was cool with or close to or friends with. So I think in your eyes, you probably assumed that I know they told Keita already, and she on the phone. This is my assumption. She on the phone trying to make it seem like she don't know, and she just playing playing it off, because women do that. Like, you're told something, but you don't want the next woman to know, like, oh, you already know, so you play it off like you don't know. But today I'm looking y'all in the eyes. I did not know, right? So it was like after we got off the phone, like the next couple of days, it was like a shift. It wasn't the same. And I'm like, dang, they must really thought that I was lying. Like, oh, this is my assumption. Like, oh, we can't trust Keita. We know she knew, but she tried to pretend like she didn't know. So I feel like there was a shift then, and it did hurt my feelings.
Really?
It did, because I was like,
what that was about.
I was like, what in the world? It was like we definitely shifted. It was, and I remember y'all was in Stephanie's room, and then with me, I'm like, well, they met Stephanie through me. How is that? Now that I'm older, it's like, to me, the length of the friendship don't matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when people think that because you met a person through the next person and you might not be friends with them, but you're friends with the people they met, all of that is out the window. Like, it is what it is. Yes. Like some people just connect. Some people grow apart. Mm-hmm. It's just a part of life.
Keita, it's like we went through that, and whatever it was, it grew us closer.
Yeah, it was like I totally right.
Yeah, because it's like we just stuff.
Well, thank you.
I want to apologize too. I don't know what it was about. It was me, and I'm like, what happened? Who was it about? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
It was something that took place off campus. I don't know if y'all was arguing with people.
That, we've just they just became friends and not knowing the longevity of our friendship.
They don't.
It goes like years.
Years.
It's years and years and years. It's not nothing we've built because of social media. And so I just wanted to say
And
that
then,
one part.
yeah. And I'm really glad because I'm being truthful in saying there's not a bone in my body that feels any type of way about it. But I do know that there are women who never communicate how they feel.
I know, and that's good because even if you never would have brought it up or whatever, I still, even if you did that, I still would feel bad and be like, no, that's not what it was, or, because I don't never want to hurt people's feelings, especially my friends. Like my
I was
real
about
friends.
to say, but you could hurt them if they do something they ain't got no business doing.
No, they do to me and don't care, so hey.
I'm going to be truthful.
I think it's intentional, but when it's done, I just think people should hold themselves accountable.
I do believe that. I feel like in today's society, there's a lot of lack of accountability and gaslighting.
Yes.
It's like at an all-time high. Like I be having to check myself and be like, am I going crazy? Or I be actually wanting somebody to tell me I'm wrong or I'm thinking
and that's
wrong.
what I do with Shannon, because y'all know I could be real assertive and I could become off so strong that people, but it's just a passion in me. And I'd be like, was I wrong? And then she'd be like, well, if she say yeah, I'd be like, okay, I feel bad. But when she say no, I'd be like, oh, okay then.
But see, all of us don't have that sister or person that we can actually go
Even
to.
if I do that with my friends, because I know people who don't know me, they assume I'm just this nasty attitudinal girl. All the time I'm the sweetest person ever.
You
It's just then all in how with the energy you dish to me, then I'm going to send it back to you. And
Times 10.
Times 10 probably, but I am the sweetest person, like literally.
You cannot tick Shawn off not one bit. It's history after that.
Especially and don't do anything to the people that she loves. And that's what I'm passionate about.
Oh my gosh.
That's just
why aren't you a Sag?
I don't know.
Because we have a lot of similarities. And it's like I love hard, but people would never know that because I'm so like, when it comes to my mouth can be a little aggressive sometimes, but it's out of love. Similar to like your kids, when you like yelling, like, I told your ass this, sit down, or don't go this place, or that wasn't, like we always at this I told you so phase. But when you're passionate and you really care about someone, sometimes I might just get frustrated because I might see something and it's just like, just listen to me. I don't want to have to explain, like just do it,
I'm that friend that I'm like, I'm gonna hold you accountable for the things that you do, but when someone doing something to you and you're not doing nothing for them to dish that energy to you or for them to treat you that way, I be having a real bad problem with that. Like, don't just be mean to people just out spite of, especially people that I love. I agree. Like that.
Yeah, and it's been times when I've gone to bat for friends that in situations that they don't even see the problem with.
Exactly.
Like, I could be like, I don't like the way that girl was talking to you. They might not see a problem with it. It's just that I just care. I see it, you know.
See more than what they see because of the person who it is, and they not looking at it in the way that you are because you're looking on it from the outside.
Right. Yeah, so.
But I'm sorry, Keita. Let me give you a hug.
I'm okay. So, what does sisterhood look like to you? If you could just sum it up in a few words.
Sisterhood to me looks different in two different aspects. One, in your actual sibling sisterhood, but then you have your girlfriend sisterhood. And to me, that looks like loyalty. That looks like friendship. That looks like support. It just looks like all around girl power.
Yes.
Sticking together. Through thick and thin. Having ups and downs. Showing accountability. And just all around showing each other love.
Right.
So that's what sisterhood looks like to me.
That's a good way to put it.
I concur to all of that. Sisterhood also is just about uplifting, motivating each other to be more than what we are, just to push you to your goals. Even if I advance in one area and you're struggling, hey, I'm your sister. I'm gonna help you do whatever you need to do.
If you win, I win. Right.
Yeah. So
it goes hand in hand with us. That's what we do with each other, and also with our, sister friends too. Our
Definitely.
one is older one.
Everything I've ever done, y'all have been there. From the popcorn to today. Y'all my first guest. Like everything, braids, every
Because you
hustle
show
I
up
done
for the
had.
people though. You show up for people that you
Oh,
love. You
thank
show
you.
up for people that support you. You show up for people that have been there, and you just show up for
But
your
that's the thing. I
friends.
never think about it like that.
You
I
do.
never be like, I show it. It's because it's like genuine.
given.
Like I just do it from the kindness of my heart. I don't say, oh, I'm going here just so they can come to my
Right.
stuff. I don't
My
look at it
friends
like
always
that.
say, y'all support everybody. It's not a thing about supporting everybody. You just support people because it's so much that we can do outside of, supporting our own.
I agree.
So why can't you just show up? Even if I'm reposting something, well, if I can't make it, I'm going to do this. Even sometimes Shannon can't attend stuff. I'm going on
You're going to
behalf of
go.
both of
Yes,
us.
yes.
So it's just always about support or whatever and showing up for the people that you love.
Yes, and y'all do. Oh my gosh. Even when I had the speaking engagement, I'm like, and that's another thing. I love the support, but I don't be wanting to be a burden on people sometimes. And I know that sounds crazy, but but I be having so many things going on, and it's like, oh, I got this brunch, and then oh, I got this speaking engagement, and then oh, I'm doing this and that, and it's like I be like, even with people that try to support, I'm like, you could just pick one or the other. You know what I'm saying? And they
Well,
like, no, but
the friends are going to be there regardless. I don't care how many events you have in within a day. That's what friends do. That's what sister friends do.
Right.
They're there. They support you. So, I mean, to us, it's like second nature.
Yeah.
Even sometimes when people have stuff that we know we want to go to and that it's something else that we can't. We be feeling so bad. We'll send a text and be like, hey, we can't come, but still send encouraging, inspiring, words of encouragement.
because you can't make
because
everything.
I can't make everything.
Right.
I want to be there, but I just can't. So.
Well, I really think that we are truly blessed to have the friendships that we have, because I done seen women pick and choose who they support, or women watch from the sideline and say, oh, well, you support her. They playing this game where they're paying attention to who support who the most. Like, I don't ever want that. Like, we're at a phase in our lives, if you can make it, you can. If you can't, you can't. And even though your attendance is important, I know deep down that that's what you want to do. You want to be there, but we just can't make everything. But I know, like, for me, being who I am, I feel like even though I've gotten a lot of support over the years, I also get the backlash from people who compare. And it's like, well, y'all support Keita more, or y'all do this for Keita, or when I have something, don't nobody ask me if I need help. But when Keita has something, everybody's front and center. And it's like, that makes me feel some type of way, because who does that? But because I would never do that. But it is what it is.
People
But
do different things, and then if I don't know if they are your friends or not, but it's no comparison when you have friends or whatever. I just feel like if you're going to support them, you want to support them. There should be no comparison.
It's no competition.
Yeah.
But amongst us black women, it's always
it's
a
always
competition.
it's always
a
and then
competition.
it's like women, and that's where I think communicating comes in. If we don't speak up and like express how we feel about a situation, you could really assume so much from what you may be thinking in your head instead of communicating. So it's like with a lot of women or people, we just lack at communicating. Communication, accountability, those are like the two major things that can really make the world better. But for whatever reason, we just don't do it. I know for me, I can be, I've been called mean a lot.
Join the club.
And it's like, wow, I'm not mean. I just tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat. And it's like, so like sometimes if I'm talking to my boyfriend or like close friends, it's like, what am I saying wrong? I really don't see it. Like, I'm telling the truth. So it's like I be trying to check myself, but then I'm like, no, I'm not suppressing. Like, I'm not trying to be
But
mean.
I think it's because people are used to you, the old Keita, and you've grown.
Yeah.
You've grown. So when we were younger, you know how you explained how you used to be just chill.
I was chill as a mug.
Yeah, but you've grown into your own.
And stayed out the way.
Right.
Now, if it's go, black hole and all that, I'm there. But other than that, I'm chilling.
But people just got to realize that the maturity in you, and they don't realize that. They still want to look at the old
Keita, yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I've had to like battle with myself to say, you know what? I can't let it bother me. And I feel like a lot of times some people don't even acknowledge or think that it will bother me. But to hear those things, it's like, wow, that's not cool to compare or say who's supporting who the most. Like, that's just not where we should be. But now we're here, and that's why one of the many reasons why I said I wanted to do a podcast, not just to talk about sisterhood, but there are a lot of other things, especially in the DMV area. Everybody has podcasts now, and we see them all over. People in Atlanta, you got celebrities, so many people have them, but I think having something right here in the heart of the DMV and speaking to, like, DMV is small. Everybody knows everybody. So it's like, I feel like it's more relatable when you're hearing stories about people that's in your neck of the woods, you know?
And that
y'all not from Atlanta, y'all not, we from here. We went to E-Ball, we went to Ballou. We struggled, you know, like I struggled. You know, I was the only child for 10 years. And my mom decided to have a baby, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And I'm sharing that because my high school years, everyone thought that I was the only child because I always stayed fresh with the fresh tennis shoes, the Jumpmans and all of that. But no, I was the oldest of 7. So my youngest sister, we're 20 years apart. So I was 20 when my mom had her. So it's quite a few of us. But the struggle, I've been through it all. So I think that creating this platform for us women locally, I feel like it would definitely inspire so many. And that's why it was important for me to bring you guys on, because sisterhood is important. And I always hear this the saying, we give these men so many chances. Why don't we give our sisters as many chances, you know? And I be in my head like, who be giving men as many chances? You know, like, y'all might do that, but that's not what I do. So that's just my personality. I feel like if a person slip up, we all make mistakes. But clearly, if you can make the mistake to fumble me, then that's on you. Like, I can't be with the back and forth, you know? So most women can do that. But I feel like for me, that's a no-no. So when it comes to sisterhood, it's really sacred to me, but it's also one of them things that we have to understand that we grow and our thought process change, life changes, and different things like that. So we might want our sisterhood to last, which I feel like it should, but unfortunately, life happens sometimes. So I think that definitely this interview would definitely bless a woman or 2 or 3, or I hope over 20 at least. But
No, it was a good. Thank you for having us, because I feel like even with you having us here and us being your first guest here, it also gotta give people a good look of how me and Shannon are. You know, just to not assume. You know, we good people.
How do y'all know so many people? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. We go to all the schools, like, to what?
But do y'all see it?
I don't know how people be knowing, and how we be knowing people, but we do. And every time I'm out with my dude, he be like, "Babe, you know so many people." Sometimes we don't remember who people are, and they, you know, but we are always pleasant and nice.
Yeah, still
So,
speak.
still speak, because you never know.
Yeah, I didn't get that type of status until I started Poppin' Chick. Now I get people speak to me all the time, and then and then I'm like, hey girl, but I just don't be remembering. I be wishing I did, but sometimes I don't. So I get it now. So I would like to know a lesson, something that might have taken place in the past where, you know how they be like, if I would have known then what I know now type of thing, like a lesson. And I know there could be many, but, for our viewers, I would like to know, has there ever been would you like to share a shoulda, coulda, woulda, or if I knew then what I know now type of experience? You don't have any? How some people do say that they don't wish that they had changed nothing throughout life, like even the lessons
because even still, I know I had my son when I was 30, and out of all of our friends, we were the last to have kids. Yeah. So I think we succeeded in that area because our kids are the last of the Mohicans. They last, but mine is anyway. But I just think I wouldn't change anything. I just think the path that I'm on now, God is, He's provided me this path, and I'm just going to follow on it. All the many trials and tribulations that I encountered to get there, it's just the path that I'm on right now, and it was for me. So I can't say that I would change anything.
Okay. Well, when you remember, let me know. We could circle back. So what about uplifting? I know for me, and just since we have social media in general, there's a lot of inspiration out there. And can you share, has anyone ever inspired you or uplifted you in a way that may have pushed you for the better? And I'm asking because that's another goal that I have for this podcast. Maybe something that someone hears from my interviews, they can take it and use it as something to help them in life. So has that ever been a moment for you where someone has uplifted you or made you change your outlook on something for the better?
I would say, so we're still blessed to have both of our parents. And they're always instilling in us morals, right?
Even at this age.
Even at this age, my mom still acts like we're like children. But that's a good thing.
Because some parents don't be having nothing,
right,
don't teach their kids
nothing. Because a lot of people don't have their parents. But in any given day, no matter what, we can pick up the phone, call her, and the first thing she'll do is give us a scripture. The very first thing she'll give us a scripture. She'll talk us through it. And sometimes she may even tell us her own experience that she had as a young adult coming up in our age group where we are now. But I think that she always uplifts us by the words that she say. She'll even pray for us, but it's just that little, just that one word she always says, that when you call, she's always available to pick up the phone, her and my dad. So to have them both in our life is always
an extreme blessing.
Yes, because we can just pick up the phone and they'll answer. So, to a lot of, of your viewers that don't have their parents, just look at someone, or I would say reach out to someone that's near and dear to you to get that inspiration, because you always need that uplifting. You always need that one person you can pick up the phone and call.
And confide in.
Yeah. And they'll give you constructive criticism. They're not going to give you what you want to hear. They're going to give you that constructive criticism that's going to push you. I always tell people that the uncomfortability, that's going to make you continue to do. But when you start getting comfortable, you ain't going to...
Man, you ain't saying nothing but a word.
When you're uncomfortable in certain situations, it's going to light that fire up under you. It's going to drive you to do what you need to do. When you need to always be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I learned that throughout my businesses. Even this podcast, this has been on my to-do list for a year. And I'm I'm not really a public speaker. I'm coming up with all these excuses. And something in me was just do it scared. Just do it scared. Too many signs were there. And I'm still not 100% prepped or where I want to be. But the goal is to just start, and the rest it'll follow, And then I'm blessed enough to have you guys to be the first ones that I interview, because I had an idea of what I was going to do before I chose you. And then I said, you know what, let me kick it off with Sisterhood, because this is the Poppin Brown Girl is stemming from the nonprofit Poppin' Chic movement, and that was created based off of Sisterhood. So it was only right to get you guys to come on in.
And you could have had any other sister.
Yes, I could have, right? Yes. And I also wanted to touch on what Shannon was saying about having someone to uplift and had the blessing of having both parents, because even though there are women out here that may not have both, or may have one but didn't have a good relationship with their parents, period. If you have kids, that's an inspiration for you to change the narrative, right? So in 2019, you ladies you launched the Dosage cosmetics line. How did you start that? Like, what inspired you to?
I guess because we always been red lipstick. Always. We just like girly girls. And so, I guess looking at you and your business and you thriving, we wanted to find our niche. Like, what is it that we can do, that we like to do, that we can have, and build a business. Like when you're around a certain friend groups, it's not like you want to be with them, but you like, oh, okay, then boss moves. Let's make some.
Yes, you're inspired, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah. Our friend network, our friend groups, everybody started their own businesses, whether it was your business, whether it was Milan, my best friend Milan doing her dog treats.
Oh, yeah.
We all started and realized, hey, let's do something outside of the norm, which was launch something. So because we like lipstick and we wear red lipstick all the time, we came up with their dosage because it's two of us. And we wanted to just have our own brand.
Your own brand, yes.
So that's where we came up with the Dosage Cosmetics.
Okay. Actually, I still have one of mine. I think I ordered every color, but today I was like, I think this is Merlot. It's like a dark, or was it burgundy?
Yeah.
But yeah, I said, oh, this would be super cute. I ordered red from you guys too, but I think that's gone. We go through red fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Merlot looks very cute on me. But yeah, so that was in 2019. You guys sold out multiple times. And 2025.
It's 2025, and we relaunching. We coming back stronger, better products. Not to say that product wasn't good, but we got the feedback from the customers, and we heard what they said, and we want to make it better this time. So.
Okay. And to our listeners, if there's anyone out there that knows anything about launching a cosmetic line that can give the twins a few pointers, that will be great. They did a wonderful job launching in 2019, but like they said, they're coming back bigger and better. And it would be really nice to just get more information, more pointers to get them to excel and be bigger and better than what they were when they initially launched. So I want to say, so when you guys do come back, you're going to, because I know you had the matte lipstick. Did y'all have gloss?
We did.
Okay, y'all had gloss, so y'all going to do all of that. Y'all just going to stick to the lips, nothing else?
We got some things in mind.
Okay. You don't have to tell me twice. It's a secret. Okay, yes, keep it to yourself. Yes. So what makes you a poppin' brown girl?
For me, it's my authenticity.
Yeah.
That's
all it takes.
Want to come as me. I know I can be a lot sometimes, but don't take it personal. Like get to know
this
me.
is you. Yes.
Because this is me. I'm not saying I don't have room to grow in certain areas. I probably do. But underneath that surface, I'm just coming as me, which is Shawn.
Yep. And that is true. I can vouch for that one. Now, I would say Shawn, for you, Shawn really answered it. But
both of us,
yeah, like when it comes to just
your my own person.
Yes.
So let her answer. Yeah. I really don't have an answer, but
yeah, but that's why y'all here, because to me y'all are two poppin' brown girls, and y'all really exude sisterhood on a whole nother level.
Definitely.
Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all shared a lot with me today that y'all pray together. Y'all have conversation. Y'all work things out. Y'all are patient with one another. And y'all the sweetest people, but like I said earlier, it just seemed like Shawn would be the one, no patience, gonna snap. I ain't talking about this, whatever, whatever. But when it comes to her sister, she's gonna make time and she's gonna make sure y'all good every day. Has there ever been like a night where y'all went to sleep mad at each other? Y'all ever did I did y'all fight ever fist fight before?
Before. And my parents scolded
One
us.
time?
Yeah,
That's all it took.
scolded us so bad.
But
I
how
think
old was you adults or?
No, we were kids.
Oh.
Yeah, we were kids, but we were. It was a point where we were upset for a while. I want to say, how long did we not speak for like a week or so? But I mean, you can't stop
Yeah.
talking to one another. So.
But y'all clearly learned from that because after that, never fought.
That was a thing where we was like, okay, this can never happen again. We love each other too much for us to be even fighting.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe y'all fought. Okay, so any advice for a woman navigating sisterhood?
Be true to one another. When you talk about sisterhood, to me, you talk about loyalty, you talk about supporting one another, you talk about communication, right? Communicating is like the number one key. As long as you can communicate with each other and make it known what it is. It's okay to feel a certain type of way. It's okay to say, "Hey, you make me feel this way," and it's okay to just express yourselves. A lot of times, we as women, we don't want to um, talk about it. Yeah. We'd rather keep things in. And as I always tell a lot of people, don't suffer in silence because nobody knows what you're going through. So I would say just communicate. Communicate with your girlfriends, your sisters, whomever you may deem that circle group that you know you can lean on. Yeah. Because in the times that we're in now, everybody, I think we need to bring this sisterhood back. Yeah. Because it's a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on in the DMV specifically. Definitely. That you can lean on each other and you can rely on, So that's just my spiel. Okay. Yeah, I can piggyback off of what Shannon said. I think, sisterhood, it just, that word in itself, like, it means a lot to me because the people that I love, I consider them family, and I mean, like real family. So I don't look at them like, oh, they're just my friends. They're my sisters. I love them. I adore them. I want to see them grow. I want to see them hit their goals. I want to see them win. And so when you think about sisterhood, you also, like we have quarrels or however the case may be, but you got to take accountability for that. And if you really truly want to be that person's friend or sister, you'll make it work. It always say if you get into it with somebody and y'all can't never come back together, they wasn't a part of your tribe. Yeah. So I just think as grown women that what we are now, everybody needs to take accountability for their actions. Everybody needs to just come on board. It's okay to say, "Hey, ooh, girl, your shoes look good," or "You look cute." It's okay to say those things. You have some people that you can't even say that to because. Or you got people you can't even ask things about, like, oh, where you get that from? Like, share the knowledge. Yeah, some people don't know those things. And it's always us that, we hold each other back. Yes, but it's okay though. It's okay. It is. It's okay. It's okay to be nice sometimes or whatever. I know you don't want to, but sometimes I force people to speak, even though I know they don't like me. I force you to. And it be given, why don't you like me? So I'm gonna force you to come out of your comfort zone. That's just me. Yeah, I think, and I love you guys' responses, and I also want to piggyback. Like, I think for like when you say why don't you like me, that's powerful right there because it's like weird for me. It's like, why don't you like me? But I really don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to say that, but I'm being nice about it. It's not that I don't care, but at the end of the day, those are questions. Sometimes I do want to ask people, what is the problem? What can we sit down and have an adult conversation? Because half the time it be people that I don't even know. It's just hearsay, So I don't really just. And I like how with you guys, I mean, because we follow each other on social media. I never see any type of negativity. And
it's just crazy how now people really take to social media for therapy.
Everything.
And it's like the wildest thing. People send subliminals, and I just sit there and I go through a lot. I've dealt with things with friendships and health and family and everything, but I don't think and I need y'all to check me because I can be going through a mental breakdown phase. But if you ever see me posting some type of subliminal or being messy, call me and curse me out, because that is something that I don't think I could ever spend my time doing because I have so much going on. So what does sisterhood mean to you? What does sisterhood look like?
A togetherness, a sense of it's for me it should be a community where you can come together as friends, so-called family, or friends that turn into family. Loyalty.
Yeah.
We holding each other accountable for things. We're reaching for our goals. We're pushing. We're inspiring.
Pushing each other,
yes. So that's what sisterhood looks like to me. It's just a group of women that's just that togetherness, that like I said, holding each other accountable and inspiring one another, uplifting one another, being there to support one another. So that's what sisterhood looks like to me. Yeah, no cattiness, no messiness, no, just being there for one another in a way that, which whoever needs them to be there for them. It could be finances. I mean, everybody don't have the most money. I could be for support, anything. It's just a sisterhood where you can just be like, hey girl, just checking on you. It's just that check on your strong fit sometimes. It don't help just to say, hey, how you doing? Or however the case may be. Sisterhood means a whole lot. And it can the one word that I would say is love. Like love one another, like love one another, like genuinely love one another and respect each other, the boundaries, so
I agree. I love you all answers. And I want to say to the women out there that have sisterhood, even if you have friends that you've been with for a very long time, like your sandbox sisters, it's important that even if they are stagnant or not growing, that you don't have to turn your back on them.
Right.
But it is important if you want to grow and they're stagnant to seek other sisters or friends, like connect yourself with people who are where you would like to be. There's nothing wrong with, stepping outside the box. There's nothing wrong with going out and networking and going by yourself somewhere and just meeting people to be able to grow, because life is really short and you could be partying with your homegirls one minute and be old as hell, like where did the time go?
Right.
I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed, to have you guys, and you guys, like vice versa. We feed off of each other's energy.
Right.
We feed off of each other's success.
Yes.
We inspire each other.
Yes, we do.
And that's what's important when it comes to sisterhood. I think if we get that right, like we will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So for this segment, I'm so glad we talked about this.
Yes.
The conversation was way bigger than I expected. I'm not the social butterfly, but that's again why I stepped out of my comfort zone to do this podcast, because I do know that it's going to help me grow.
Right.
Especially speaking, because a lot of times I stutter and that sort of thing. So to the women out there that don't believe in themselves or feel like they ain't got it together, or they want to do something that they don't feel like they're good at, do it. Just step out there and do it. What can it hurt? Again, I want to thank you guys for showing up for me like you always do. The support is unmatched. And today was very exciting. I was nervous. I had all the feels, and you ladies made it like the best. My very first podcast was the best. Well, of course, I'm going to have many more, but today it just really was bigger than what I can imagine. And I have you to thank for that.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes,
I
thank
love
you.
you guys.
We love you too.
I thank you for stopping by.
Yes.
The mirror table. All right. So until next time, thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you soon.
Dear Poppin Brown Girl, if no one has told you today, you are loved, you are beautiful, and you are powerful. Sisterhood isn't just about shared bloodlines. It's about shared hearts, open arms, and showing up for one another even when it's hard. Today was just the beginning, but I hope you felt seen, supported, and reminded that you're never alone on this journey. We heal in community, and sisterhood is the space where we grow, glow, and get free together. Special thank you to Shawn and Shannon, the Hazelton Twins, for stopping by. And if you're not already, please make sure you're following them at PrettyGirl267 and Pretty_Black267. To stay updated on what's next with Dosage Cosmetics, make sure you're following their business page, which is Dosage. It was an honor to sit with you at the mirror table. Until next time, please keep showing up for you.